Our story begins in the autumn of 1945. The war is ending, the world is rebuilding, and one woman has a vision. Dr. Moira Abelson, president of Soroptimist International of Sevenoaks, sees an opportunity. Tunbridge Wells needs its own club. By April 1946, the formalities are complete. Out of war, recovery and renewed purpose, Soroptimist International Tunbridge Wells and District is born. Its first president, local GP Dr. Lillian Croskery, sets the tone. The inaugural dinner in October 1946 is a grand affair. Dignitaries, civic leaders, Rotary and Inner Wheel representatives. A statement of intent. Even the president's insignia speaks of ambition, designed by world-renowned enamelist and suffrage activist Ernestine Mills. From the outset, community service is the mission. One of the club's first acts, a day centre for elderly women. Post-war Tunbridge Wells faces a housing crisis. In 1950, the club steps forward again, supporting the Hatton Housing Trust. Ballet garden parties, jumble sales, concerts, relentless fundraising. By 1953, 4 flats are secured. Then 4 more through the Muriel Wells Memorial Fund, honouring the town's first female mayor. Over the next 2 decades, further properties are acquired. 52 Madeira Park in 1968 and 2 Frant Road in 1978. The latter later becoming Soroptimist House, and transformed into homes for older women. Leading this work for some years was the town's first woman solicitor and club president, Helen Warriner. A few years later, the County of Kent honoured her with an award for her services to the community. Storm damage, rising costs, changing legislation, the challenges mount, but the commitment never falters. A generous legacy from Grace Philpott funds major refurbishment. Yet, after nearly 50 years of hands-on housing provision, the properties are transferred to Rockdale Housing Association. A legacy secured. The 1950s and 60s bring seismic change for women. The movement evolves too. In 1962, the club helps charter Soroptimist East Grinstead. But standing still is never an option. Fundraising expands. Civil engagement deepens. Local press coverage grows. Support flows to favoured causes. Guide dogs for the blind, hospice in the Weald, war victims in Sierra Leone, children affected by Chernobyl, causes which remain close to our heart. From 1998, detailed reports are submitted to the Council on waste, planning, public services. Then comes a landmark railway study. Its impact reaches national authorities. It earns recognition from our National Federation for Advancing Women's Safety.
They started to look at the safety of women when travelling on the railways. And they found out that actually no one in the rail organisation was responsible for the actual personal safety for women travelling alone, or indeed any passenger. So we started by surveying all the stations in the region Tunbridge Wells were very instrumental in getting this project off the ground. And we've produced a report. The initial one was back in 1997, and then there was a much bigger one in 2002 called Safe and Sure. With this report, we went to the top level. We went to the government, we went to the rail companies, we went to the Department of Transport, the British Transport Police, and we talked to the people who were at the top, who could actually make a difference.
Recommendations reshape carriage and station design across the country. Closer to home, the work helps secure the lift at Tunbridge Wells station. From the 2010s, environmental action takes centre stage. Members are out litter picking and campaigning. They involve schools, parks, churches and youth organisations in a charitable project to improve sanitation facilities overseas. By collecting and recycling aluminium cans, they succeeded in twinning more than 20 toilets in homes, businesses and public spaces. This earned Tunbridge Wells the status of a toilet-twinned town. Education remains central. In 2018, the club sponsors a young woman working in Ghana on sexual health education. A long-standing active Soroptimist, Barbara Bradford, was remembered by the launch of a poetry competition, inspiring students to imagine the future. When COVID strikes, the club adapts again. Members sew masks, raising over £14,000 for charities supporting domestic abuse survivors, refugees and young families. In 2021, the 75th anniversary is marked with a tree and a bench in Denollan Park, inspired by a survey revealing how many benches the town had lost. In 2022, past President June Bridgman is awarded the Civic Medallion for Exceptional Service.
And what's been interesting during the whole of that time, it's been exactly the same sort of things we've been doing. It's been doing things which were to raise funds to make people's lives better, but also things that encourage girls and guys, because some of the work that then we work is today now as a club, that the gap with the guides and with other young people and so on, to build up the ability to see how can you get into decision taking. And that's why we've always loved working with the council, because they've been very sympathetic to us in the decision taking.
The murder of Sarah Everard becomes a turning point. a vigil is held. A town-wide survey asks women and girls how safe they feel. Findings are presented to police and council. Plainclothes patrols increase. Licensing safeguards tighten. Lighting on isolated paths is reviewed. Collaboration with MP Greg Clark helps push forward legislation making sexual harassment in public an aggravated offence. A contribution acknowledged in Parliament. His successor, Mike Martin, MP, has exerted pressure and received written assurances of full implementation. International Women's Day and the UN's 16-day campaign against gender-based violence keep women's issues in sharp focus. Exhibitions, discussions and events raise awareness of both the challenges facing women and their successes. Active support from the media and civic leaders, notably our local MP, is a vital part of getting our messages out to the public.
I'm delighted to be here in Emilia Scott with the Soroptimist International crew to welcome and celebrate their 80th anniversary. And the Soroptimist in Tunbridge was really part of the warp and weft of the town. And it's not just talk, they actually get things done as well. So they played a leading role in getting the Protection Against Sex-Based Harassment and Public Act over the line, and they've worked with others, including my team, on getting the Safe Havens initiative going, and it's great to be with them and celebrate, and they're looking forward to what it is that they can do in the future, as well as celebrating all the things that they've achieved in the past. Happy birthday, Soroptimists.
Keeping abreast of the needs of the local community is key to our continuing relevance. We are doing this now through the Listening Project. This involves conversations with local women which then shape priorities. We've invented the Soroptometer, a quick-fire way of collecting views on particular subjects. One early outcome, women-only swimming sessions. For more than 80 years, Activism has been the lifeblood of this club, helping to bring about real and lasting change. Ensuring that this spirit continues into future generations is vitally important. That is why we were proud to take part in a research project led by London South Bank University, exploring the history of women's grassroots activism since 1918. The project produced two key outcomes: a series of podcasts and a practical toolkit. In the podcasts, described by Soroptimist International as an exemplary initiative, Caroline Auckland and Lorna Blackmore share the story of the club's work and achievements. The toolkit offers practical guidance and inspiration for anyone who wants to become an activist themselves. And while the focus is local, the vision is global. Through Soroptimist International, members contribute to policy at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. In 2026, a club member represented us in New York, helping shape more ambitious UN policies to strengthen women's and girls' access to justice. The work pushed for tougher action on sexual violence, especially through stronger investigation and prosecution, and enhanced protections for women in the workplace. From post-war recovery to global advocacy, from housing to legislation, from garden parties to parliament, much has been achieved. Where next?
I retired from a career in education at Easter 2024 because I became a grandmother. But I wanted to keep my mind active, meet interesting people, and do something worthwhile. And a few months later, a general election was called. And Tunbridge Wells Soroptimists organised hustings. I went along, and they were extremely well run. The candidates were given timed speeches, and the questions that they were asked focused on women's issues. It was very informative. And I looked around, and I saw the most capable women performing a service for the people of Tunbridge Wells. And I thought, I want to be part of that group. So I went along to a few meetings, and everyone was very friendly and welcoming, and I joined in October 24.
Our club has a real mix of members, which I really enjoy. Some people have grown up locally, they've always lived locally, they've got a lot of connections. I don't come from Tunbridge Wells, I don't come from the south of England at all. And so for me, what I really get personally from being a member of the club is the sense of community and connection. I came to Tunbridge Wells not having any friends or family living locally. So it's been wonderful for me to get to know people locally and to really understand how the town works, the sorts of things you can get involved in, and just find some friends. It's been fantastic.
Well, I joined the Soroptimist because I wanted to be part of a group, a women's group, that had tackled and involved itself in issues on a local but regional and global perspective. I really enjoy the fact that some Soroptimists go to the United Nations, though we have a consultative role at the United Nations, but we also do litter picking. We're not a Prosecco and mindfulness group. We are a group that gets things done, and I love that. It feeds something inside me that after I retired from teaching for many years, I felt needed to be satisfied.
I think there are lots of examples of times when I've been proud to be a member of Tunbridge Wells and District Soroptimists. But most recently, it was our involvement with the Amelia Scott in the display for the 16 Days of Activism against gender-based violence. We put together a display in November and December 2025, and this was to raise awareness in the community about violence against women and girls and the sorts of things that people locally could do to help this almost overwhelming issue nationally and internationally, but starting with things that they could do locally, such as talking to their children, making people aware of the new Safe Havens scheme in Tunbridge Wells. And also we took it as an opportunity to talk about the sorts of things that our local Soroptimist Club have been doing, both locally and nationally.
I felt the proudest I could be when I was on the stage at our hustings event in 2024, when we held at hustings for the prospective parliamentary candidates for the borough, for the constituency elections. I had been tasked with asking the questions that had been prepared in advance, and to be able to question the four candidates that we had and put those ideas on the issues that affect women and girls in our borough and in our nation, and how they would react to them, to hear their points of view, was the most It was a very powerful moment. I felt a sense of importance for us as Soroptimists that this event had been engineered and presented by us. And the crowd, the audience, were thoroughly supportive of our efforts. I felt very, very proud to be part of the group for that moment.
Well, as I joined the Soroptimists, the listening project started. Now, members had decided they wanted to seek the views of local women and girls in order to direct their future projects. And a group of us got together and came up with the idea of a structured conversation, which is based around two questions. What do you like about where you live? What ideas do you have for what could be improved? And these questions prompted the women to think about themselves and then say their feelings and views and be listened to. And last year we gathered the views of well over 100 women and girls, either through individual one-to-ones or in pairs or groups. And one example is a group of Muslim women who told us that they wanted to have female-only sports provision. So we went to the local leisure centre and asked if they could provide a female-only swim with female lifeguards. And they put it on. And we're told that there's an average of 25 women a week going to this session from all over Tunbridge Wells and district. And I'm told that the atmosphere is absolutely lovely.